Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this live is Vaibhav Tripathi. And Rohit Juglan will also join us very soon. He's our man on ground for the Under 19 World Cup, which is happening in Sri Lanka. He has touched down in Harare this morning and has been bringing you all the updates since the morning. And as of now, the biggest update here is that the Indian team have reached Sri Lanka. They have touched down there. But to talk about this tournament, Vaibhav, a lot of attention will be on this new bunch because there's a Vaibhav Suryavanshi, there's an Ayush Matre. There are so many names that have suddenly gotten, so much spotlight over the last 1 year, especially Vaibhav Suryavanshi without, undoubtedly at this point. But if I were to ask you, what are you expecting out of this World Cup? Who are the players that you will be keeping an eye on, except the, very popular ones? What are your thoughts?
See, we have been building up to the Under 19 World Cup in the last, I think, 7 or 10 days, and we have discussed in many videos, me and Rohit Bhaiya, about the players apart from Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Ayush Matre. Of course, your known commodities who have played at the senior level, but I think there are a lot of talented players in their team. Of course, one remembers the Asia Cup final which we lost to, Pakistan. But recently, we won the yesterday only we won the ODI series against youth ODI series against South Africa, and that came under the leadership of Vaibhav Suryavanshi. He scored 200 in that series, and in that series, Ayush Matre and Vihan Malhotra, the vice captain, were not available. Both are fit, both have touched down. Rohit Bhaiya has given us the update, but I think not apart from Vaibhav and Ayush, there is a Vihan Malhotra, of course, the vice captain. Then there is Kanish Chauhan. Then there's Vedant Trivedi. Then there is Abhigyan Kundu. R.S. Ambrish is the only seam bowling all-rounder that is there, who is making a comeback after he was dropped from the Asia Cup because he was not there. He was injured. That's why he was dropped from the Asia Cup squad. So R.S. Ambrish, he played really well in that 3-match series against South Africa under 19, which concluded yesterday. So I think there are a lot of players. Mohammad Inan is there, Khilan Patel is there. Then with the ball, you have an Kishan Kumar Singh back in group, and then Deepesh Devendran, I think, will be an X factor for the team with the ball, because he's that bowler who can operate at a high pace and can deliver the crucial breakthroughs. So I think apart from Ayush Matre and Vaibhav Suryavanshi, there are 8-9 match winners in that 15-member squad.
Definitely, and we've seen their dominating performances in that South Africa series as well, which has only concluded yesterday. And to talk about the most famous person in this entire group, obviously Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and he has been getting the spotlight for all the right reasons there. And I was, before the show, I was just going through the scorecards of his recent performances, and in the last 30 days, if I could bring out the highlights. 171 of 95 balls, 50 of 26, 190 of 84, 68 of 24, 108 not out of 61, 46 of 25, and yesterday 127 of 74. So these are the recent numbers for Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and Rohit Juglan has also joined us. Beautiful blue skies behind Rohit. Rohit, tell us what it's like in Sri Lanka at this point. We were talking about Vaibhav Suryavanshi and how
Harare.
all eyes be on him. Harare, yeah.
So, firstly, it's AQI is 1717. So you can breathe very easily here. That's the first and the very best part as far as traveling to this country is concerned. As you rightly pointed out, even I've just started this series, before this Under 19 World Cup, that know your team India, know your Under 19 World Cup team India, and I was going through the stats of all the batters. I included the wicket keepers also, because even Abhigyan Kundu has done some serious hitting as far as his numbers is concerned. Vihan Malhotra, Aaron George. If you see performance of any player, apart from Ayush Matre, if you because there is a lot of eyeballs as far as these two are concerned. Vaibhav Suryavanshi, because whatever you told the numbers, be it about the hundreds, be it about playing top attacks in difficult conditions, and after playing, IPL, the youth ODIs, you've played number of youth ODIs, 5 in England, 3 in Australia, 3 in South Africa, and he has numbers in each and every, almost each and every venue. He got starts in each and every venue, 100 in, all subcontinents, up right after right after playing that IPL. He scored that wonderful 100 in the fourth youth ODI, then a youth test 100 in Australia, then a 100 here in South Africa on the very last game, where on the very first game when he got out cheaply, a lot of people said this about him, that, oh, because it was UAE, he scored those big runs, because he was playing the Vijay Hazare Trophy game in plate groups. That's why he was kept on scoring those big numbers. But here also, if you look at his 100, it was almost an innings going on with a pace of a strike rate of 200 or 170, 180. So I think if you compare Vaibhav Suryavanshi Gargi with any of the other Indian batting, a player, there's no one close to him, even close to him, and there's a huge distance if you talk about Indian batters. Yes, in world cricket at this moment, there is another Pakistani batter who's doing really well, Samir Manas. He'll be one to watch out for, and I'm not saying because India versus Pakistan almost got all the eyeballs in the Asia Cup also, but also because he is someone who's looking different at this point of time. Australia looking a very good side. New Zealand, you talk about West Indies, they have a couple of players who have already made their international debuts. So I think there are this set of competition between young players already represented their team, and one of them is Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So if you compare Vaibhav Suryavanshi with Indian players, no one coming close to him. Yes, when you take the global picture, then there are one or two players who are at this point of time making sound for the right reason, and this will be the World Cup, as far as these players are concerned. But yes, here in Zimbabwe also, people know who Vaibhav Suryavanshi is. And I'm not talking about the Indian diaspora here. I'm talking about the local Zimbabweans who follow cricket. They talk about that 14-year kid who's making noise for all the right reasons, Gargi.
That's IPL magic for you over there. And of course, his exploits in international cricket as well. But
Exactly.
definitely, but I'm saying that IPL being as popular as it is
Yeah.
an incredible place, a foundation for young cricketers to snatch the spotlight. And the other thing is, Rohit, what you mentioned that on social media, that yes, there were a lot of people who said that, Vaibhav Suryavanshi has been scoring against, let's say, teams like UAE. And the point is,
And
Rohit and
Arunachal
Vaibhav,
Pradesh.
yeah, but the point here is that at that age level, it's very difficult to get the sort of quality that India has. That's the biggest thing. Maybe an England, maybe an Australia, but not every country will have that sort of talent pool when it comes to under 19 cricket as India has. So I think that also has to be taken into factor. But Webber, there is a comment here by I don't know. No point choosing Ayush in playing 11. He was horrible in Asia Cup. No point changing a winning combination that just won 3-0 against South Africa.
So you cannot leave out
In,
Surya Kumar Yadav from your T20 World Cup squad, even if he's not in form. So same goes with Ayush Matre as well. Why would you drop him just on the basis of one bad series? You have to look back at what he has done as a captain, what he has achieved. At the with the under 19 team. Before Asia Cup, he won a series in Australia. He whitewashed Australian. You have to be mindful of the fact that Australia are the defending champions. To go to Australia to beat Australia, 3-match ODI series and then 2-match red ball series. Before that, he went to England. He won the series in England as well, the youth ODI series. Of course, the Test series was drawn, but he did well there in England as well. So you have to keep the things in place, because Ayush Matre is one player who is definitely a potential. Of course, he didn't have a great Asia Cup. Of course, he didn't lead team well in the final as well. There were tactical calls which can be questioned. But overall, if you look at the quality of the player, you cannot question someone like Ayush Matre, who has done well ever since he has made his debut. And last year when I was covering the Irani Cup, then he made his debut, the first senior level debut he made in Irani Cup, and that itself tells you the quality of player and the trust that team has. Mumbai Cricket has a lot of trust in Ayush Matre, not just as a batter, as a leader as well. So I am not taking anything. Of course, this will be a big challenge for him. He has played in the IPL. He has played at the senior level, so that that experience will help him to perform at this level. All that he needs to do is, he has to be temperamentally strong, which I think he lacked in the Asia Cup. Of course, he was playing a big tournament as a captain, so that's why the runs didn't come. But the real test of his quality, his batsmanship, his leadership will be at the under 19 World Cup, and I think he will do well because he has already he has played under pressure, under immense pressure among big crowds. So I think this time also, of course, there is pressure, but I think he will flourish.
Kargi, just want to add a couple of points to this. Look, as far as talent is concerned, as far as skill set is concerned, as far as the kind of player he is concerned, yes, there's nothing you can doubt there. But the half part of the question is yes, Vaibhav is very right when he's saying that you are not doubting your captain for the T20 World Cup when he is not scoring. Why you are doubting Ayush Matre? But I'm saying that if you check the numbers, it will haunt you just to sake of the numbers. Last 11 12 innings, more than last 12 13 innings. Take last 15 innings as an example. His highest score is 38, and there is two ducks in between them. Apart from that, if you take the cumulative total, it will not go above 110. So last 13 14 innings with a total of 110 runs. It's not only the Asia Cup, it's also the Australia series. Vaibhav is very right when he's saying that yes, his captaincy doing wonders, but his batting is there should be a question mark, coming into this. Because yes, we can say this, that at the very brisk moment, at the very last moment, you can't change your captain for the under 19 World Cup stage. But yes, if you see the England series, no runs, not even a 20 there. He missed one game also. I'm not exactly know what the reason was, but Abhigyan Kundu got the captaincy there, and he opened with Vaibhav Suryavanshi. In the Australia series, there was not even he didn't cross, I think, 15 or 20 runs mark. 3-match series in Australia, 5-match series in England. Then let's come down to the Asia Cup. There's only one innings he played where he scored 38. That's versus Pakistan. Apart from that, there was no runs in this England series, the Australia series, and the Asia Cup.
See, he just
And
scored
then
100
obviously,
in that one of youth test
yeah,
in
that you
England.
test two hundreds,
Yes,
200s. I'm talking about here the ODIs,
five
because your under
ODIs.
19 World Cup is your, because youth test will be it's a completely different format. That's why I haven't included that. But yes, if you include the youth test, there were 200s. He scored in England, in both the games. If you look at the Beckenham one, he started with the Beckenham one and then ended with another 100. So yes, in youth test he scored a couple of hundreds, but I'm only talking about the youth ODIs. This 14-15 games which I'm talking about is only the ODIs. And the under 19 World Cup is a 50 over format. So that's why I'm giving you example that his last best score, individual score, was 38. That's versus Pakistan in the league stage of Asia Cup. So yes, he should feel that there is pressure on him, because he has the talent, he has the temperament, he has the skill set. We all know that. We have seen him, doing well in the domestic cricket for Mumbai. You call it the Buchi Babu tournament, you call it the domestic one. Yes, he has shown us that what he can contribute. But yes, if you talk about under 19 50 over matches, Gargi, last 12 13 games not went well for the Indian captain. And at the very last, he missed this bilateral India versus South Africa because of the I think that was a wrist injury for him and Wihan. And now he is back. What I am hearing, just I think 11:30 or 11:45 in the afternoon, 3 or 4 hours back, Indian team landed from South Africa. What I'm also hearing, that they will have a practice session also tomorrow. Could be an optional one, and then day after they have to play their first warm up game against England, Gargi. So yes, for the Indian captain, not a very good road till to this under 19 World Cup. Maybe he's saving his runs, as Surya Kumar Yadav. People are saying to Surya Kumar Yadav that he's saving his runs for the T20 World Cup. Maybe the Indian under 19 captain also doing the same, and that's how there's a huge difference when you talk of Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Ayush Matre. Vaibhav Suryavanshi is way, way, way ahead.
He's crossed a certain threshold, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, in this season definitely has.
Exactly.
And there's Nothing that compares to him in under 19 cricket at the moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing. But Vaibhav, coming to you with Ayush and Vian now coming back, how do you see the playing 11 shaping up?
See, there are a couple of spots in the middle order. I think top order is very much sorted, and it was sorted in the Asia Cup as well. They did a lot of experimentation until the Australia tour, but I think in Asia Cup, the way Aaron George came at number three, the way he flourished, three consecutive 50 plus scores in the Asia Cup, I think he has pretty much locked in that position for himself. And then you have your openers, Ayush Matre and Vaibhav Suryavanshi in there. I think the middle order, when Vihan Malhotra comes back, I think it will be a debate between, I think, although Vedant, obviously, Vihan Malhotra is obviously your vice captain. So, Vedant Trivedi, I think, will have to sit out. And he got starts in the under 19 in this ODI series against South Africa as well, which he recently concluded. He got starts. He was getting 30s, but he couldn't convert any of those starts into a big score. And that was the series, which where you could have made your mark. Look at what Aaron George did in the Asia Cup. He was not getting opportunities before that series. He was not getting a consistent run at number three or the top order. He got the opportunity in the Asia Cup and he grabbed it from the both hands. And that's what you have to do as a player. When chances come to you, you have to make sure that you are hitting the targets. This is what Aaron George did, and I think top order is settled. I think then at four you can have your Vihan Malhotra vice captain. Then five Abhigyan Kundu. Then at six I would have a RS Amrish, because you have only one seam bowling all rounder, and I think he did well in the series. First game I remember him scoring a crucial half century in that partnership with Harvan Singh Pangelia. That partnership was crucial. I think 140, 150 odd run partnership, which gave India a good total. And then he got 2 wickets in the second ODI. So I think he proved his mettle as an all-rounder in the series against South Africa. So RS Amrish will be my number six. Then I think there is a chance of a Mohammad Inan as well, although he didn't perform at all in the series against South Africa. But just because he's a leg spinner, and we know the quality, the wicket taking ability, the knack of wicket taking that leg spinner has. So Mohammad Inan, Kanish Chauhan, Khilan Patel, all three of them. And then you have a Deepen Devendran and Kishan Kumar Singh. One player, one standout player from the South Africa series. I think the biggest takeaway from the South Africa series will be Kishan Kumar Singh coming good in the last two ODIs. First match he didn't play, and you need this is what me and Rohit Bhai were talking about after the Asia Cup, that what we lacked in the Asia Cup was wickets up front. And that we couldn't do just because Kishan Kumar Singh didn't perform well in the Asia Cup. In the last two ODIs, he got 6 wickets, three in the second ODI, three in the last ODI, which happened yesterday. So I think these are good signs heading into the World Cup, that your only left arm seamer, your wicket taker, is back in groove, back in his wicket taking mojo. So Kishan Kumar Singh, the biggest standout from the under 19 series. I think Dipesh Devendran. These two will be my seavers along with along with got depth. 8-9 you have got batting. Dipesh Devendran can also bat. So you have I think the only players who will miss out is Vedant Trivedi will miss out, and Harvar Singh Pangelia also will miss out, I think.
All right. Final question to you, Rohit. Based on the conditions over there, so we know that two cities, Harare and Bulawayo, if I'm pronouncing that
Yeah,
correctly,
yeah.
over three venues. So two in Harare and one in Bulawayo. But if I ask you, you can't put all three wickets into one basket. But generally, traditionally, Zimbabwe wickets are very balanced, give both to bowlers and batters enough advantage. But how are you seeing the conditions at this moment? Two questions based on this. One is, more than enough time for the players to acclimatize to the conditions. It starts on the 13th. They have 4 or 5 days going ahead. Second,
15th, yes.
how much do you think the conditions will affect the playing 11 at this point?
So 2 things. First, right behind me, the ground you are watching is Harare Sports Club. It's the Harare ground. One is this. Basically, India will need this if they qualify for the semi-finals. One of the semi-finals is in Bulawayo. So Bulawayo is a 6-hour drive from here. A 6-hour drive from here. It's in the same country. And then the other venue is in Namibia. So two venues in Zimbabwe. That's one is in Harare Sports Club. That's here. That's right behind me. and then you have another one in Bulawayo, and then you have another one in Namibia. That's a completely different country. So at this point of time, there's no plans that India will travel to Namibia, but let's see how the fixture will go. But starting from this very venue, I visited when I visited 1.5 year back. It's a lot of potential for the fast bowlers, for the seam bowling all rounder, and dimensions wise also it is a big ground. It's bigger than the Wankhede, it's bigger than the Firod Shah, the Arun Jaitley Stadium, it's bigger than the Eden Gardens also. So if you see this Harare Cricket Club, it will help the fast bowlers. Very fresh wicket. The last international match played here was in November. Yes, there were some domestic leagues have played here, but for that also they have taken the side pitches into consideration. That's they haven't played those games in the center wicket only, so they are preserving it. It will be quite a fresh wicket. It's a rainy season here in south of Africa, so the wicket will be quite juicy as far as the fast bowlers are considered, the seam bowling all rounders are considered. And that's why what Vaibhav told a little earlier, that in South Africa also what Indian team was trying to do is to give more chances to your utility players who can contribute with the bat and the ball, and more specifically to someone like who can bowl those seam bowling, who can do the seam bowling part and then contribute with the bat also. So that's what Harare brings to the table. But Bulawayo is little different from Harare. Bulawayo will, it's a very grippy kind of wicket where you can see spinners coming into the picture. That's why you have three different options. You have a left arm spinner also, you have a right arm offie also, and then you have a right arm leggy also. So you have all kind of variations with you. You are carrying all kind of variations for the Bulawayo conditions, because Bulawayo is the place where you have to play three important starting games. It all starting with USA, and then you have to play one of the most important games. It's India versus Bangladesh, knowing the current scenario of what all is going on. And then obviously in Namibia also there is it's not dimension wise very big ground, but yes, it's quite similar to what Bulawayo offers. It offers a little bit of assistance for the batting. Yes, you have to be really well as far as playing spin is concerned, but this ground, Gargi, will be the toughest if you ask me. The Harare Sports Club, if India has to play their semi-final or the final here, then it will be a big task. I remember Abhishek getting caught right at the boundary, and we know that how Abhishek plays, how he's known for those big sixes. That will be a test for Vaibhav Suryavanshi, that how easily he can clear these big boundaries. That's why I mentioned in the early part of the video that this ground is bigger if you compare it with the Wankhede and the Eden Garden or the Arun Jaitley Stadium. And then you have also assistance for the fast bowlers, so a little bit of steam movement also. So a good test. If everything goes well for Team India, they will be definitely here on 6th of Feb, if I'm not wrong, for the finals.
Oh, you're already saying that they'll be in the finals. Um,
Obviously, Gargi.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
Yeah. It's
it will
it's the
definitely
Indian
be
it's the Indian in me more than a journalist now. On that very last part.
before the match begins. The
Yeah.
Indian is taking over the journalist, but once the match
Yeah.
begins, he turns into a hardcore journalist. But it will definitely be a test for the young stars from India, because not only testing conditions, but also conditions that they haven't played in before. If I'm not wrong, have they? I am not
Yeah,
sure.
in South Africa, it's little similar. In South Africa, weather-wise,
They are
Gargi,
not playing.
it's very similar. The skies are very familiar to the England backdrops and the England skies. The weather is, yes, it's a little windy, but South Africa, I think you can say that South Africa is very close to what they will get here in Harare. And then they have played in conditions like England, which you can compare somewhat to Bulawayo. So I don't think there will be a problem. There are multiple grounds. It's not like that they are playing in a single ground in Bulawayo. Also, warm up matches in different grounds, and then the international, the under-19 World Cup games in a different ground. So yeah, a lot to explore as far as this Indian team is concerned, Gagi, at a very young age.
Absolutely. They go in as favorites, and it is on them to handle the pressure and then clinch the title. Let's see if they can do it or not. Throughout this entire tournament, of course, Rohit Juglan will be here to give us all the updates. So don't go anywhere. Thank you so much, everyone.